Fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more. You're gonna be a man, my son.
All right, 7:44. Welcome back. And this month we are celebrating Movember, an annual month-long event involving the growing of the facial hair during the month of November to raise awareness for prostate cancer and other male cancer initiatives. Now, the goal of Movember is to change the face of men's health. Remember that each year there are over 200,000 diagnoses of prostate cancer and 30,000 of us die from it. The hard part to swallow about that number is most of the time, guys, if treated early, prostate cancer is absolutely survivable. Now, joining us in our Movember mission is Dr. Michael Stotzer from urologist. He's a urologist anyway at Carolina Urology. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we've been celebrating all month long. I say celebrating because we're trying to raise awareness for prostate cancer, and of course that only strikes the fellas, so that's kind of the whole thing. But briefly, prostate cancer, what is it, where is it, how does it impact us?
Well, the prostate's a gland that sits below the bladder that's involved in reproduction, and it's a hormonally driven gland. Like in breast cancer, estrogen drives breast cancer, testosterone drives prostate cancer. So men have a few problems with their prostate. It gets enlarged, makes it difficult to urinate, and it can also develop cancer.
Right.
And of course the cancer is what we're most concerned about because it is potential cause of death.
Sure. How often do guys actually die from it? I know the numbers are 30,000, but really how many times do you actually get it? If it's treated, do people really die?
Well, that's a harder number to come up with because prostate cancer is a very slow-growing cancer, and it can take many years for it to progress to the point of dying. That's why screening works so well with prostate cancer, because we can catch it in the early stages.
Doc, how often do you actually diagnose it? And you say, if we catch it in the early stages. You've got guys walking around mustaches to say, go get checked.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
how often actually, realistically, do you catch it in the later stages when you're
Quite
like,
often.
gosh, I wish you were here a year ago, 2 years ago?
Absolutely. We see that quite a bit. And it's a bit sad because some men just don't go and get their screening. Some men get screening and ignore it and see a rising trend in their PSA, yet they don't come and see us.
Explain PSA for us.
PSA is a blood test. It's a protein made by the prostate that we can measure in the blood, and we have reference ranges. It's not a perfect test, but it's a good test because we look at both the trend over time and the absolute number in light of the patient's personal prostate history and family history. So it's an interpreted number.
Is that in the in exchange of the rubber glove test? Because that is no fun for anybody.
It is not fun for anybody, but it's really important to have both. Many times in locally aggressive prostate cancers, we'll diagnose because of the finger exam, and the PSA is helpful, but combining those two tests is what we really need for a good screening.
And real quick, Doc, just a quick answer, I guess. Can you cure patients if the treatment is advanced? If you say, Mr. Ryan, I wish you would have come in last year before, is that a death sentence, or are there still treatments?
It is not a death sentence.
Okay.
So there are situations with prostate cancer that's locally advanced, meaning that it has grown outside of the prostate but has not yet spread to lymph nodes or bone. With aggressive therapy, which may be a combination of therapies, including surgery, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, we can still control that disease. The situation where the cancer spreads, either to the lymph nodes or the bones, at that point it's not curable. But we have a huge number of new tools in our toolbox, new drugs that have been developed that have allowed us to extend people's life, not only time-wise, but quality of life. Quality of life is extremely important in managing more advanced prostate cancer cases.
All right, Doc, appreciate your time this morning. Gentlemen, go get checked. I mean, that's the bottom line. Get checked out. Age 40 or so?
Well, the initial screening should start at 40 for everyone,
okay,
particularly African Americans and men with positive family histories, to get